This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
So I will call the meeting to order at 6:09 p.m. on October 6th. And Kathleen or Hazel or Brad, with Nicole absent today, would one of you mind taking notes?
I can try taking notes.
Cool. Thank you, Hazel. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay. So free time for for open to the public. Does anybody have anything from the public that they'd like to bring up here? Okay. Great. So then we have a few public hearings tonight. The first one that is on the agenda is 37 Middle Road. Is anyone here for that piece of property? Okay, we'll come back to that. All right, next on the list was 138 East Street. No?
Unmute yourself, gentlemen. I'm sorry, I wasn't able to unmute. Sorry.
Are we, can you hear us now?
Okay, I'm getting a lot of echoes. Hold on a second. Try this. Okay. Hello?
Hi, yes. So
Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm coming up as Alessandra, but my name is April.
okay. And,
okay, first 37 Middle Road.
Oh, okay.
I apologize. I was on, because you were late, I logged in twice. So I was on a computer and a phone, and then apparently I'm on two different accounts somehow.
Got
So
it.
sorry for that. And I was
No,
hitting the
not
wrong button to unmute. Did not like it. Okay, so my name is April Sabadosa, and I represent the property at 37 Middle Road. I'm power of attorney, and I work on the property. So they had the Board of Health called about something, not sure exactly, but the Board of Health came and did an inspection, and they determined that several buildings were in a state of disrepair. Some of them are already mostly on the ground, like an old garage basically, and then several sheds. I'll call them sheds. They're just storage units. They're made out of wood, and they have a roof on top, and the roofs are mostly in a state of disrepair, and they should come down. And that's been a conflict of interest, or a conflict of, we haven't decided, to do that sooner. So at this point, Board of Health has said they should come down. So we'd like to do that. They were all tested for asbestos. We included that report, and there's no asbestos in them. They sit about 100 feet to 190 feet, measuring from the stream that runs along the front of the property, along the road. The sheds do not have any foundations. They're just, like I said, they're just wood with a roof on top. And there would just be like a lightweight piece of equipment coming on the property to take them down, such as a bobcat, is what I've been told by the company we're looking to have do that. And that's about all, I believe.
Okay. And I believe, and you've been working with George?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for going over all of that in detail, April. I appreciate that.
Of course.
So I know that George has taken a look, and there is some vegetation that needs to be removed, and he had some conditions that he had recommended. Did you have any questions on those conditions?
I don't think so. We did go over that this morning, the conditions.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't think at this time I do.
Okay. Does anybody else on the commission have any questions? All right. And neither do I. So if folks on the commission are okay with the recommendations that George had here with these conditions, and I think we can close the public hearing and vote on this. So I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
All right, thanks, Kathleen. All right, so all those in favor, Kathleen,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
Brad? You're muted, Brad.
Aye.
Great, thank you. And myself, I almost forgot me. Great. All right, so then would anybody like to make a motion to continue with the RDA and these conditions?
I'll make a motion to move forward with the RDA at 37 Middle Road with the proposed conditions that George has suggested.
Okay. I'll second that motion. Thanks, Kathleen. All right, so all those in favor, Kathleen,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
Brad,
Aye.
and I. All right. Thank you, April.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So the next on the agenda was 138 East Street. Is someone here?
Yes, that's us.
Oh, okay. Great.
I'm Barry Searle, the septic designer, and this is Mark Jackson, the property owner.
Okay. Actually, one Barry, before you get started here, there's somebody on the call with MDUFR.
Yep, that's me.
Okay, could you just mute your mic? There's a lot of feedback coming through.
Sorry about that. My fault.
No, all good. Thank you very much. All right, Barry, thank you.
Sure. Is there a way that I can get the print of the design to share with you all? This share button, maybe?
Yes, and if you can't figure it out, I think I have it up here as well.
Documents. Would it be under notes? This may be hard for me to do because I tried it before.
Yeah,
Google Drive, no?
Would it
give me
be?
1 second here. Let's see.
It says documents, but none of my documents are showing up. I don't think Google Drive is the right one. Dropbox.
Nope, I got it here. So give me 1 second. Let me just.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Hold on, why? I am not a Zoom person, so.
Club.
Yeah, same here.
All right,
Not my strong suit.
here we go.
Mhm.
Nope, just lost it.
That's actually my plan. That's actually the wrong one. That's for 116 East.
Oh, okay, yeah. What, hang on. I had the, had it and then I lost it. George, did you send the 138 E Street plan? And George, if you're trying to talk, you're muted as well.
I don't know if these. It should be in my documents on my computer. But
I wonder if you're on the cloud or something.
maybe.
George, did you hear me?
I'm trying to get it to you now, Evan.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yes, I'll just give up.
But yeah. How do you get into the documents?
On my computer, I've got them all right here.
Well, while George gets that over to me so I can share it, I'll move on to the next one and we'll come back to this one.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
that's quite all right.
All right, so we had two continued public hearings. The first is for an RDA at 69 High Street. And is anyone here able to?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
Hi, this is Heather Dragon.
Yeah, Heather, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you guys?
Good, good. So, thanks for, I know we had started this conversation last time and because of the drought and some of the, the challenges that come with trying to make determinations during a drought, we continued the public hearing. So, I know George has, and I assume you've been in contact with him to talk through some of the
Yeah.
conditions. Yeah.
Yep. We submitted the amendment, and then he added some conditions to that. So
Yes. Okay. So yeah. And then did you have any questions on those?
no, I think they were all pretty standard that we can work with.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, and so this is the blocks along the house and there's the right. So yeah, an
Yeah,
RDA
it's just
sheet-
about some concrete blocks next to the driveway.
Yeah. Okay. So an RDA with positives 2A and 5 and a negative 2. Did anybody else from the commission have any questions?
No questions here.
Okay. And George,
Yes,
because
sir.
we continued this public hearing, is the process here the same, closing the public hearing and then?
And then making the motion, or you can make it in one motion. I vote to close the hearing and issue the RDA with the stipulations attached.
Okay. All right. Would anybody like to make the
I'll
motion?
make that motion, Evan.
Great. Go ahead. Sorry, put
I
me on the
would,
spot.
let me follow through. I'll move to close this particular public hearing regarding 69 High Street and approval of allow the RDA to go forward with the recommendations that George has given us for the applicant.
I'll second that.
Perfect. All right, Brad, thanks. Kathleen, thank you. So all those in favor, Brad,
Aye.
Kathleen,
Hi.
Hazel,
Aye.
and I. Great. Thank you. And thanks, Brad. Didn't mean to put you on the spot. All right. George, did you have a chance to, oh, here we go. All right. So back to 138 East Street. I have that.
Am I all set with 69 High
Yes,
Street?
I am sorry. Yes, you are all set. Thank you very much for
That's
joining.
okay. Great. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
You too. Okay. Barry, was there a specific document that you wanted me to pull up here?
If you can find the plot drawing, that would be advantageous for us.
Okay.
There's a lot of other documents that went with it, but
yeah, so here, let me, the documents that I have are the so I've got the topography of the location, the USGS map. I've got images of the area, images of the brook, and in two forms. So I don't actually have the plot map.
Evan,
Yeah.
in the application for the septic system itself, the plot map will probably be the last page or next to last.
No.
Nope, it's not. I'm sorry. All right, let me see if I can find it.
Okay. We'll come back.
I'm so sorry I can't produce it for you here on my computer. I go to the documents, but none of these options are allowing me to get into where the documents are on my computer. I had it all scanned and ready to show to you.
Not a problem. We'll get there. We'll get there. In the meantime, we'll jump to 97 Pomeroy Meadow. That was also a continued public hearing, and as with the last meeting here, I have a whiny dog next to me, so I apologize if that's coming through. Is someone here for 97 Pomeroy Meadow? No? Okay. So then we'll jump to 116 East Street.
That would be me.
Okay.
I want to tell you that I'm not trying to be clandestine with my face mask, but I'm in the process of getting a new nose due to some cancer. So I'm not going to subject any of you to that picture.
Okay. Well, sorry about that. And
it happens.
Wow.
It happens.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's see. Let me pull this up here. So this is a construction of a water line from the south side of the street to the house.
Yep.
Okay. Um, 165 feet. Looks like George recommended an RDA with positives 2A and 5 and a negative 2. Did you have any, I assume you've been working with George, so did you have any
Yes,
questions?
I've been working with George regularly. He educated me along the process. So
Great. Did you have any questions on?
nope, just looking to get approval.
Okay, cool. I don't, this one, it's a pretty simple one. Anybody have any questions in the commission?
I don't have any questions.
Okay,
I do not.
okay. All right, then, if anybody wants to make a motion to close and accept, that'd be great, otherwise I can. Okay. I will make I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing and then to accept George's recommendations of for an RDA with positives 2A is 5 and negative 2.
I'll second that.
Thanks, Hazel. Thanks. All those in favor, Hazel?
Aye.
Kathleen?
Aye.
Brad?
Aye.
Myself? Aye. All right.
Thank you all. I appreciate
Thank
that.
you. Yeah, have a great night.
Have a great night.
Okay. All right, Barry. Think we're up here.
Okay,
Let's
great.
see if we can make this happen this time. All right, here we go. Yeah. Thanks, George.
Okay.
All right. Let me just download this and get it open. One moment. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Whoa, there it is.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So, this is a rather complicated project here. If you're able to locate, to indicate where things are as I talk, because my pointer won't register with you, I don't think. Or,
No.
yeah, there you are. So you can go a little bit to the left and you'll see the two, where the line comes out of the house on the lower left corner.
Okay.
All right, yep. And there's a dotted box there. I don't know if there's a way to blow this up and make it, yeah, there you go. So, yeah, you'll see the line coming out of that corner of the house and to a dotted box where the existing tank is. And then to the left and a little up are two smaller dotted boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two existing seepage pits that are there now. And if you go across the brook, about parallel to those two tanks, you'll see a little square box. That's the existing water supply. It's a spring from the brook. So what we're suggesting is to abandon that in place and simply to minimize the intrusion on the site, simply disconnect it at the house and leave it be right where it is. And the plan is to do a new well, which is going to be located over by the garage building. You'll see way over to the right there.
Mhm.
Yep. And you'll see the radii that I drew, 50 feet to the left, which is Title V code compliant for separation distance from the tanks. And then to the right, the 100-foot radius, which swings up to the top where the proposed new leach field is. So we're Title V compliant with both of those, situating the well where we are. Now, as far as the tanks go, back to where you started, leaving the building there, the house. All right, there's the main line coming out right there. Yep.
Mhm.
There's also another one up by the straight up from, keep going up a little more and a little bit to the left. That's it. That's another line entering the existing septic tank. So our plan is to remove that existing tank and put a new one right in its place. And you'll see the 50-foot setback line from the brook, from the wetland there. So we're outside of the 50 with that, I believe. Okay. Now, we had issues about where could we properly locate the leach field.
Mhm.
And the only place on the site we could find is way up to the top right. You'll see that rectangle there. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's to the right of the in-ground swimming pool. Under Title V, some of our setbacks that we need to take into consideration is a 10-foot minimum setback from a property line, a 20-foot setback from an in-ground pool or a house foundation. We've achieved both of these. We got successful perks up there. Those two little rectangular boxes indicate the deep observation holes. We've established that it's an adequate and actually an optimal place for that leach field. And so the proposal is to go back down to where those tanks are by the house. The only way we can get up there is from a pump, is via a pump system. So
Mhm.
proposing a pump chamber right off of that new tank. And that's the only place really that we can locate it, given the constraints of the site. So we're going to eject it all the way. It'll go from the house to the tank by gravity, from the tank to the pump chamber by gravity, and then we're going to eject it all the way up the hill to the new leach field from there.
And looks like, is it 26 feet elevation it's going up?
That sounds about right, yes. And it's a good long distance.
Yeah.
Now, you'll notice also we've proposed a siltation barrier, either the straw wattles or a silt fence with straw bale backings down slope of where these tanks are going to be, but up slope of where the brook is. Also, you'll notice all these wetland flags. We had a professional wetland scientist in there who delineated all of that.
Mhm.
And that report is part of the whole submission here. And that's pretty much what we're planning to do, hoping to do.
Okay.
Any questions on any of this?
Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
see.
I have a question for George. George, what recommendations did you make for this?
Well, thanks for asking, Brad. First of all, I'd like to clarify, it's my opinion that the entire project is in the 200-foot riverfront zone. That's a perennial stream. And there is some BVW as well that Heather, the wetland scientist, delineated. But the entire area, in my opinion, is in the entire project, in my opinion, is in a resource area. Because of that, my original recommendation was that an NOI be filed. In other words, the commission issue let me see what I got here. A positive 1, 2A, 3, 5, and 7, which would require an NOI. Should the commission decide that the notice of intent is not necessary, I have recommended positives 2A and 5, a negative 2, and I listed a whole bunch of stipulations. One of the critical ones, in my opinion, is going to be the erosion control barriers giving the slope. I'd strongly recommend that straw wattles be doubled up and that silt fencing not be used. I don't think the silt fencing will be able to contain any potential runoff if we ever get rain or snow first. And I just like a double row of straw wattles. And that'll be the same recommendation, whether it's an RDA or an NOI approval. Did that answer your question, Brad?
Yes, thank you, George.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Barry, did you have any questions on that?
No, I'm in total agreement about the waddles. That sounds
Yeah.
good. The NOI is not something I personally would do. We need to secure the services of someone else, I assume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, George, if you are able, can you provide a little bit of education on the NOI process and how that would differ from the second option you have here?
The NOI process would differ in 3 significant ways. One, the applicant would have to send out abutter notices. 2, the fee structure now goes to the state as well as the local municipality, so there'd be 2 fees involved. And thirdly, DEP would comment on the actual application. They issue the number, the 2890 whatever it is number, so they would comment on the application. Those are the 3 major differences. What the commission is evaluating is basically the same.
And Barry, what is the timeline for this?
Well, he's been pretty patient. We've started this back in the spring, I think, right?
Actually, November.
Last year.
Yeah. I am in the process of trying to sell the house. I've lived here 50 years last week. It was my anniversary.
Congratulations on your anniversary.
Yeah. And we did put in a septic system 47 years ago. When we first started building, put in the house or bought the house. And so we did everything according to what was right then, and I understand things are going to be different now.
Yeah.
But my hope is to be able to get through this as soon as possible so that I can get the house up on the market.
Excuse me, Evan. Mark, could you identify yourself for the record, please?
I'm sorry, Mark Jackson. I'm the owner at 138 East Street.
Thanks, Mark, and yeah, thank you, George, for that.
I'm wondering, how do we decide or differentiate between the 2 options you suggested, the NOI versus the non-NOI?
Yeah, ultimately, it's the commission's responsibility to determine which path. So yeah, and I get and to George's point, the main differences were those three pieces, right? So, but at the end of the day, we are, the conditions are going to likely to remain the same.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, if I may?
Yes.
Another option the commission may want to consider is continuing the hearing to allow the commission members to go out and look at the site. It may give you a different perspective or a better view of what is being proposed. It's just an option.
Yeah.
No requirement to do so.
Yeah, I did not get a chance, but you did say that it's a fairly steep bank or hillside, right down to the brook.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay. Um,
Was
anybody else on the commission have any questions or thoughts here?
Yeah, though, is it?
It's what?
I have another question for George. George, the idea that an NLI would be required is based on your determination that it's within the 200 feet of the stream?
Yes, because if you read 310 CMR as well as the statute, it does say that work in a resource area requires an NOI. Again, technically, the commission can look at an RDA and see if that level of permitting is required, and thus the current application in front of you.
And George, that you said it's a perennial stream, right?
Yes.
And does the drought have any?
No, this stream, I'm pretty sure the stream stats on this, as well as the drainage area, would show that this is a perennial stream regardless of the drought.
Okay, okay.
Is this the same thing, the 200-foot setback as the Rivers Act, where I think in another case, if the lot was established prior to a certain date, the Rivers Act didn't apply or something like that? Can you clarify that?
I'd have to look that one up. Hold on, I'll see if I can find it real quickly.
I ran into that in Holyoke a few years ago, but I don't remember the details.
Yeah, I can't say that I do either. So, yeah, George, thanks for looking that up. If
It may take a few minutes.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, if George is not able to
Yeah.
find that, and that's something that you want us to look into, then we would, I think ultimately have to continue the public hearing until the next meeting.
Oh, wow.
Right, to give time to research that, right? So I know that you are trying to get a house on the market, I guess,
Yes.
given it is in that 200-foot buffer, I would like to follow the rules as they are laid out, requiring the NOI. But I'll wait a minute here to see if George can find anything on that. And I do appreciate, Mark, it sounds like you've checked off every box so far on how to do this properly by hiring a scientist to come out and look at the property and everything. So I appreciate all the work that you've put in
Okay, thank you.
to do this, or to get this here.
How often do you have your meetings? Is it once a month or?
Twice a month. So the next meeting would be on
20th.
Yeah, so October 20th.
So would that require another notice to the newspaper, George?
No,
Okay,
if the commission just continues the hearing, there's no need to continue the legal ads.
okay, thank you.
Were you able to find anything, George, or are you still?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
For some reason, the date, the year 1986 comes to mind, but I can't tell you where that came from.
Before 87 and after 85?
What's that?
Before 87 and after 85?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And sorry, Mark, did you say your house is 50 years old then?
The original house was probably built late 40s, early 50s,
Okay.
and we added on to it from that. But we bought it in 1975.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, George.
I have it.
Okay,
It talks about, one of the factors that, the applicant would have to talk about is the cost of doing the project. Uh, when you get into all of cost factors, and, wait a minute. I'm dealing with 310 CMR 1058 1A talks about the costs and whether such costs are reasonable or prohibitive to the owner. The cost does not include anticipated profits after the project purpose is achieved or expenditures to achieve the project purpose prior to receiving an order, with the exception of land acquisition costs prior to August 7th, 1996.
That doesn't sound quite the same as what I was
That's
remembering.
not it? Okay, we'll keep looking.
It was that the lot was established as a building lot prior to sometime in 1986.
That date, August 1st, 1996, is mentioned twice more in 310 CMR 1058 2 scope of alternatives.
CMR,
CM.
310 CMR 10.
I don't have the Rivers Protection Act itself that I can look up right away, but I will try. But I don't see that 1966 date or 86 date you were talking about.
Okay,
okay.
maybe I can try to track that down also.
Ask him
Oh.
that.
Yeah, so, okay, so if you would, if that is the path that you'd like to research, then, I think I would like to make a motion to continue the public here, or, yeah, to continue the public hearing till the next meeting, and I'm, I don't wanna bump it out, cause I know you're in a time crunch of sorts, right? You wanna keep the momentum that you've got, but I also wanna make sure that we are following the rules here, right?
Just for the, so I'm sorry, just for the sake of discussion, if we were to just jump right into the NOI scenario, how would
Yeah.
that play out time-wise?
Well, this is going to be tough because in order to get on the August 20th meeting, I had to have the complete application today in order to get it into the paper for the advertisement.
For
So
the
the
NOI,
only thing I could get you on would be November 3rd.
so, okay. That's something to think about.
Yeah, so, I mean, if we were to, yeah, so if we were to, I guess, if we were to continue the public hearing, then, you would be on the October 20th meeting, right? Where we can, return with any research done in the, to understand if if anything can be grandfathered in. If we were to vote on the NOI, then to George's point there, pulling that application together is certainly not something you'd be able to complete today. So yeah, November 3rd, so 14 days after that 20th date is when the earliest that you would be able to be in front of the commission again.
Yeah, it'd be November 3rd.
Okay. I'm not sure what the best path is, honestly.
Okay. All right, unless anybody else from the commission has any questions,
Evan, you need a formal vote to continue.
right, yeah, I was gonna say, I think we should continue this, but I do wanna give space if someone else has a question or thought. Okay, well, Barry, and Mark, thanks for, thanks for presenting this. I know you were probably hoping to get through this and get the thumbs up and move forward. My biggest concern here is that steep hillside into that brook. So,
But I'm kind of confused when I think of where the tank is gonna go to the brook, it's not that steep. I mean, it's
the area where the tanks are gonna be is level and flat. The embankment is, several, I don't know, dozen feet away. So we would put the fence at the top of the slope.
yeah, right. But it's
And
not, I mean, level from the backyard to where the brook is probably not even 6 feet.
Yeah.
It's not like going up, it's much steeper going up to where the septic,
Right.
where we did perk.
Yeah. Well, in the interim between now and the 20th, maybe they want to have a look at it.
Yeah, and I'd be open for that. Anyone wants to visit it.
okay.
Yeah, I have one question, Evan.
Yeah, Brad, go
Maybe
ahead.
Barry or Mark can answer. I don't want to assume, but from what you're telling in the diagram that you presented, the leach field is going to be up on a level ground. It's going to be parallel to the swimming pool, which is level.
Yep.
Right.
Right. Yep.
Yep.
Quite a distance away. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. Sure thing. Thank you. Thank you all.
Yeah. Okay.
Did we
And-
make a motion?
We didn't know. Kathleen, go ahead.
Yeah, and just sorry, just to clarify, George, basically the stipulations would be the same between the RDA and the NOI.
Say that again, please.
The stipulations would be the same in the RDA as in the NOI.
Yes.
The same, yeah. But basically the NOI is a way to cover us, all of us, right? To make sure we're doing the right thing because of the resource area being the river. So that's really the difference. Okay.
Yes.
But anyways, I guess I'll make them, since we don't have all the answers right now, I'll make a motion to continue this public hearing for the property on, what's the address again? 138
East Street.
Yeah.
138 East Street. Thank you.
I'll second that.
Okay, great. All those in favor, Kathleen,
Aye.
Brad,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
and I.
Thank
All
you.
right.
If you do want to do a site visit, you can contact me or Mark and set up a time if you like.
Yeah, I will for sure be in touch to.
Do you want a telephone number?
No, I have the emails,
Okay.
so I'll reach out after the meeting. Thank you very much, Mark and Barry, for talking through this and
All right,
for
thank
dealing
you.
with the technical
Appreciate
difficulties.
all your help.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Okay. All right, so I think we went a little out of order at times, but I think we got all of the public hearings covered
We
here.
still have, Evan, the public hearing for I believe
Oh,
90
97, yeah.
Pomeroy Meadow. And if no applicant is here, I'd recommend that be continued as well.
Yep. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, is anybody on the call to talk about 97 Pomeroy Meadow? Okay. All right, so then we will need to make a motion to continue that public hearing, so.
I'll make a motion to continue the public hearing at 97 Pomeroy Meadow Road.
Great, thank you, Brad. I will second that. Okay, all those in favor, Brad,
Aye.
Kathleen,
Aye.
Hazel,
Aye.
and I. All right. Now we are done with the public hearings.
Yes.
Okay. So in regular business, Kathy, I know you're here. Thanks for patiently waiting. And the signage, you went and got the quotes.
Yeah. So I had been working with Westfield Sign Company, and I had reached out to Randall Kemp after the suggestion of a member of the Trailblazers. And he put me in touch with Steve Crystal at MassCore. They are an approved vendor for the town, providing signs for the highway department. And I talked with Steve there, and I sent all of you a copy of the quote for the signs with the amounts. So does anyone have any questions about that? The total for the signs comes to $1,258.50. And that is for, just to sum up, 5 trail closed signs. We need some of those immediately, and there may be others, so we thought we would purchase these in bulk. 5 water crossing signs that say, do not build or alter water crossings, and it has Southampton Conservation Commission underneath. 1 sign for Zipta that says Manhan River Trail with an arrow, and then 5 trail signs with a left arrow, 5 trail signs with a right arrow for if we have to reroute things, and then 16, 1 for each conservation area, a larger sign. Those are all 12 by 12 signs that will go on existing poles, in most cases except for the water crossings, which will be put by water crossings. And then we're going to get 16 48 by 18-inch signs that have 2 messages. 1, no motorized vehicles. Even though that is above it, we are having some problems in some areas with motorized vehicles. And then 1 below that, which will say, dogs must be leashed. Please pick up after your pet, because we're having some issues with dogs. So that's the scoop on those. The process is, this sales quote needs to be approved by the Conservation Commission. You all need to decide if you have the money, where it is coming from, and then vote to approve the quote. Once the quote is approved, I will get it back to Steve. I sent him the specs on where to drill the holes and all that today. He will then get me the proofs, which I will then bring to you again to look at what all the signs look like for final approval before we actually place the order. So today is just for you to discuss where this money, if you have it, will come from, and to vote on approving the quote to move forward with proof, so I can get the proofs. Any questions?
Yeah, you had said, I was just looking at the quote here.
Yeah.
I didn't see one for, you had said there was one for dogs.
It's included under the no motorized vehicles. That's 1 sign that has 2 messages.
Oh, I see.
Sorry, I wasn't clear about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that answers my next question, which is why is that one so much bigger than the others? So.
Right, and those are going to be attached to the 2 poles directly under the main signs for the conservation areas.
Okay. Kathleen, do you know which account we would use for this?
I'd probably suggest the forestry account again. The forestry account, just to remind you, is revenue from forestry happening in Southampton. And we used recently a little over $5,000 from that account for the bridge removal at Woodmore. And right now we have about just shy of $22,000 in there still.
Okay.
I'd be hesitant to do one of the Concom accounts just because we're using that to pay our agent right now.
Right.
What are you thinking, George?
I would agree.
Okay. All right. So I think this is great, Kathy. Yeah, like this is, I think signs are really important.
They are.
And I know the trailblazers are so thorough and, you know, and figuring out exactly the inventory. And thanks for, I see the whole, you know, the email with the quote and the quantity and all that. So thanks for doing all this.
Thank you.
So that's my 2 cents. I don't know what the rest of the commission thinks.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me, using the forestry account. And yes, Kathy, thank you. And I think you maybe you covered this at the beginning, but this is the required source for signs.
It's not the required, but it is an already approved vendor. And
Understood.
I
Got it.
have to say, working with the Westfield Sign Company was nothing but frustration.
Okay.
Working with
second that.
Steve, yeah, right, you got it. Steve is remarkable. He's very enthusiastic. He's responsive.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to have it, as long as we're clear on what we tell him, I don't think we're going to have any problems. There's no
Perfect.
cost for shipping and delivery of the signs. They will be delivered wherever George wants them delivered, to his office, or Randall has offered to take them at the highway department.
Okay.
Randall has also said that within reason, he will be able to provide the poles
Okay.
for additional signs that need poles.
Okay.
So, you know, there may be some negotiation with the highway department regarding hardware, but I don't see that as being a big problem. And he even said potentially they could dig holes for the ones that are going to go inside by water crossings where they need to be.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So, yeah, it just seemed like a much easier pathway.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay. I don't have any other questions. Does anybody else? I think we can, seems to make sense to use the forestry account to approve this and keep this, keep the ball rolling here.
Great.
One quick question. Who actually designed the signs?
They haven't been designed yet. I gave him the wording and the spacing that I wanted on the signs. But then he's going to get us proofs and we'll be able to make changes to that.
Okay. Got it.
They're green background with white lettering,
Got
except
it.
for the no motorized vehicles is in red.
Got it. Right now on the computer screen, the no motorized vehicles like hard, the two kind of, they're both like two very dark colors, like dark green and dark red.
Yeah.
But I see that it's just a proof. So
Yeah.
I'm sure
And it's not
tone-
even a proof. That's just what I gave him.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna tonight we're just sort of discussing if we as a Concom would use our monies for these
Right, and approve the amount and give me permission to take the next step, which is to give him a signed, sign the quote. And then the next step is they'll get us the proofs.
Okay. Got it.
Would anybody like to make a motion on that?
I'll make a motion to approve the funding from the Concom account, the forestry Concom account for this sign quote for these signs.
Great. And I will second that motion. Okay, so all those in favor, Kathleen?
Aye.
Hazel?
Aye.
Brad?
Aye.
And I.
Great, thank you so much.
Yeah,
I will
thank you.
keep you posted when I get the proofs. I'll get them to George. I'll send them to all of you and then we can get back on another meeting.
Excellent. Thanks, Kathy, for doing all this work to.
Believe me, it's my pleasure. I'm going to sign off. I'm a little jet lagged. I just got back from the UK yesterday, so I need to go to bed. Thanks all.
All right, thank you. Have a great night.
Yep, thanks.
Okay. So next on the agenda was the purchase of the land at Glendale Road. So next to SIPTA Farm, and I think that's how you pronounce it.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, we received a formal request from the select board on whether the commission wants to purchase that land, which is on the north side of Glendale, again, next to the farm property. And they also, as a second part of that, want to know if the commission is willing to use their funds that was outlined in the email from the chair of the select board to help purchase that. So they're requesting a formal action one way or the other from the commission tonight on that property. I would tell you that I have talked to at least 3 potential private sector purchasers on that property who've asked me what they can do with it, what's the process for approvals, et cetera, et cetera. So there is some private sector interest in it. There has been a lack of town funding to purchase it, so the select board wants to use either open space funding or Concom funding to do it, if the commission wants it.
Thank you, George.
I believe there's members of the open space committee present to also speak on this.
George, can I ask a question?
Yes, you may.
Yeah, what possible uses did the potential buyers disclose?
They're single family homes.
Okay.
All of them.
Okay.
I can speak for the CPC committee and the open space committee, if that's helpful. I don't know if Diana Fetterman is present. She has been an advocate for this parcel.
Mhm.
She's
Yes,
here.
I'm here. I'm here. And I still advocate for it. Did you want me to speak or? Yeah. I would just say that I think it's worthy of preservation. It's a very popular conservation area for all kinds of people. It's near the town well. It's a modest price. And Chris Fowles did a lot of research about that Harold Conant fund. I think there's $80,000 in it. It's just been sitting there for a long time, and it seems like it could be a good use for part of it. And then if the commission is interested, someone would need to fill out the application for the community preservation grant and go to that meeting, which is October 14th, all in order to get it onto the warrant for the November town meeting. So I think, I think it's a good cause and a good use of the money.
And the just so that we are all on the same page here, the price for this parcel is I think it was 140, is that right?
That was the appraised value. The town's appraiser came in at that. I think it's for sale at 149.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
this is Stephen Johnson, and I just want to suggest that we be careful about venturing into any more that is either confidential or is negotiating strategy. So it's a fine line, and to address that, I think the full bore would be perhaps an executive session of the Concom and the Open Space Committee. It's a lot of folderol. The short version might be that someone on the Concom with the authority of the Concom could sit and discuss negotiation strategies or whatnot. Diana's fine. The appraisal the town contracted is or would be public information. The listing price, of course, is as well. The Diana undersold the significance of this because we all assume it's already protected as part of the Zipta farm.
Mm-hmm.
The piece that I want to be careful that we don't put out in public is the due diligence and conditions we might place on an acquisition. We have not been coy about the fact that the existence of a, who knows, centuries old barn at the corner of the property is in the town's view a liability. So I don't want to go further than what's been said in public. I agree with Diana. It's worthy property. It's a damn shame that we're dealing with it at retail prices. If I can be helpful to you further, especially, cognizant of open meeting law, I'd be happy to do so.
Okay.
If
So
I may speak for the committees that I'm on, just a reminder, it's about 2.5 acres. There's probably only one buildable lot, and that's rather than more than that. It does not affect access to the existing Zipta property, although we may have to move one of the entrance paths if we don't acquire this property. But it does not affect the parking area or, in essence, access to the rest of the property. The issue for the town to me is what other properties may come up and what we may need the money for. And just to be aware, there's at least 3 other properties that are being discussed that may require some funding from whatever sources within the town, including CPC funds and possibly existing Conservation Commission funds. And that's one of these decisions of multiple committees has to make.
Yeah.
That's
So
sort of like where I was thinking to, what my concerns I was kind of thinking too is, should we use the money that are from these kind of endowments, the Hazel and the Conant, down the road, what other properties are going to pop up that also need our monies? And I'm actually not entirely sure. It is 80,000. So, and I would have to get that from Bradley, the accountant. But what I have noted is that it is for the Conant Wildlife Fund, it's about 40,000, and for the Hazel Young Memorial, it's about 11,000. So that's about 51,000, which is a good chunk of money. But of course, it wouldn't cover all of it, and we'd have to go for money from CPC or grant money or something. I don't even know if grant money is an option actually, because it takes a while.
Right.
At this point, the land grant cycle is not applicable. It wouldn't be till about 9 months from now.
But the grant cycle would be applicable for other properties coming up that we're interested in.
Okay.
That figure that I quoted, Chris Fowles gave me. So she went to probate. She went to probate to look at the use of those funds, and that's what she said,
So following some of the advice in that Stephen Johnson had pointed out, it sounds like maybe the next best step here is for someone from the Concom and someone from CPC and Open Space to get together to talk about how we might be able to work together to purchase a property like this, and if it makes sense to purchase a property like this. Is that, I think, Stephen, am I paraphrasing that properly?
If you're asking me, yes, I think that's the next step. And P.S., I muddied the waters. Chris Fowles did some excellent research, and I didn't read all the way through to the end. I missed a critical detail. And so I believe from the reports that Chris provided, which are from the custodian of the funds where they actually live, is Conant Wildlife has an expendable balance of around 80,000. Hazel Young is 22,000 and change. But that gets you to around 100,000. And so this would require a joint effort, even if you went pedal to the metal. So I think it's high time that we talk about emerging priorities, opportunities in town. And so I strongly recommend Mark covers two of the bases with CPC and open space.
So just for information, the next open space committee is on the 8th, 2 days from now. And the CPC meeting tentatively is on the 14th, but they were going to cancel if there wasn't business, I think. So if there's a desire to put an application in, they would keep that meeting. And it would require an application to supplement whatever may come from Conservation Commission funds, if that's a decision of the commission.
Okay.
And
Mark?
just to be clear, any CPC funds have to be approved at town meeting. Probably everybody knows that, but so we wouldn't have a chance again until next spring or something like that.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I think I'm assuming we don't need a motion to talk about this, between our, the different groups or commissions here, but yeah, I will coordinate with the members of the Concom, Mark, and Diana and Stephen, and yeah, maybe we can have a discussion at the next CPC meeting, or have a discussion prior to that meeting, and then the product of that discussion will be something that we can talk about on the CPC meeting on, I think it was the 14th of October.
Sounds good.
Ideally, to get it on the special town meeting in November, or an application be going to the CPC before the next meeting in an ideal world.
Okay.
I have a question. Do we need to take formal action for this to happen?
If I may, it's my opinion that you do.
Okay. Okay. So then, what, George, if you don't mind, help me out here. What would that motion look like?
Well, it could be a couple of things. The commission could vote to request the town purchase the land. The commission could vote to request the town purchase the land and not use any Concom funds, or request the town purchase the land and approve the use of the Concom funds, or fourthly, vote to have the town not purchase the land.
Okay. And that first option would leave open the doors to voting to that the town purchase the land, leaves the doors open to figuring out what the funding strategy is at a future date.
I agree.
Okay. All right. I will make a motion that the Conservation Commission of Southampton recommends that the town purchases this property on Glendale Road, next to the SIPTA farm.
I will second that motion.
Thank you, Hazel. All right, all those in favor, Hazel?
Aye.
Kathleen?
Aye.
Brad?
Aye.
And aye.
Can I ask for clarification? That does not specify where the funding is coming from. Is that?
No, we still have to, we're making a formal, made a formal motion to recommend the purchase, but did not make a recommendation on what funds to use. So I think, Mark, we need to connect, to figure out what, how to make up that balance.
So at one point, the Conservation Commission needs to decide how much of existing funding they're willing to put towards the project and how much they would potentially ask the residual to come from CPC funding. And I don't know
Yeah.
if that's be ready to make that decision tonight, but just the CPC
Yeah.
will need to have specific numbers on that.
Yeah, I mean, right. Yeah, I think, which is why I made the motion to leave the funding off of this recommendation, just because I don't know. I have very limited insight into what, the CPC or the open space, and so just trying to understand what that is, makes sense to to understand that before making a recommendation on funding, just so that we know, so that, we have all the numbers at hand. So we will be someone from the Conservation Commission will, or myself will be in touch, through email to start that conversation. So that
Mr. Chair,
Yeah, Stephen.
I think it would be expedient if you could either take that role as chair and include it in the motion, or otherwise designate the Concom representative, because we've got a lot of fast-moving considerations. This is not to make decisions on behalf of, but to get into some of the weeds about what's on the table in terms of options
For sure.
and all the funding sources, because it ought to include all options.
Yep. That is fine, yeah. And I think
Evan, I have a question, and this is more for Mark and for Stephen, and maybe George can chime in on this. To make this happen, do you need something more concrete from us in terms of some dollar figure that we're willing to put forward?
Eventually, that would have to happen, yes.
Yeah, I understand that, but in terms of the limited time that seems to be available to us to have this go before town meeting, do you need something sooner? You need something quicker?
For the town to vote on it at the CPC meeting, there needs to be an application with a specific budget, which means the Conservation Commission either needs to decide they want to ask all of it from Conservation, the CPC committee, or some portion of it that they are not going to take from existing Conservation Commission funds. But it needs to be specific about what the property is, and then more specific what funding they're asking for. And if I can go back a little bit, Stephen was being a little bit roundabout as saying the discussion about negotiation. One of the issues is if the town does not feel, given the wetlands on the property, that it's worth the full $140,000. One of the issues is whether the town wants to potentially put in a bid for less than that, or a discussion with the owners. And that's part of, I think, what Stephen was referring to, and that may require the closed session.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's, yeah, okay. So kind of case in point as to why I'm not I don't want to make any recommendations. I won't vote yes on any motion to figure out any funding, because I don't have the full picture here. This has been through several different departments or commissions throughout the town, right? And now all of a sudden it's at the Concom's feet, and there's this, slightly, there's this timeline that is, now all of a sudden we've got to figure it out and potentially liquidate these accounts that that other projects and other things rely on, right? So I want to make sure that we know every single card that's in the deck. before we make any of these recommendations, which is why I would like to table this discussion for now until we can see all these numbers.
So the CPC committee, probably if this does not come on the agenda, probably will postpone its meeting next week, which may give it time to have a meeting after your next meeting in 2 weeks.
Okay, and if that is the case, in the can somebody remind me when the town meeting is?
Sometime in November, I don't know the date,
Okay.
but I did hear that they're working up there.
Oh, I think we lost Diana. But the CPC funding has to be in order for this
To feel confident about what you're doing. So yeah.
We lost you there for a minute, Diana. But
Oh, sorry.
I just was with the date of that town meeting in November. The CPC to get any warrant on there for CPC funding. What is the deadline for that?
Not yet.
Oh yeah, Stephen should know.
Perhaps I do not have the specific answer. I don't think it's been nailed down.
Okay.
It would require a vote by the Conservation Commission, CPC, a warrant generated and approved by the attorney for the town in a time to get on the town warrant. And obviously the specific date of the special town meeting is the place you're working towards.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you, Evan.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for all your consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna pop away now.
Yeah, have a good night.
You
I
too.
appreciate everything
Thank
you've all done. Next on the agenda here was something also that is important and requires additional funding here, but the George's wages, right? The town, there was a plan to hire someone full-time, so the town did not renew the funding for George's services through the entire year, and we are now starting to dip into or about to dip into the revolving conservation funds. Is that right, Kathleen? Is it?
I actually have to defer to George with that. Has that begun already? That we've liquidated the agent wages and now we're going into the Concom revolving fund? George?
Well, what Evan said in terms of the town hiring a full-time individual to take on planning and Concom duties is accurate. So they didn't appropriate enough funds. The Conservation Commission can use their funding from the Wetlands Protection Act to retain professional staff. So the problem is that funding is going to run out.
Right.
Before the next fiscal year and starts. And frankly, I'd like to have a salary.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm requesting the commission ask the select board to, if at all possible, appropriate additional funding for the agent's position through at least the rest of the fiscal year.
Yeah. Certainly. Yeah, so we have the revolving fund. Sorry, I have another device that just shut down that has the figures on it. So we have a Concom revolving fund. We have the Conservation Commission expenses. George, I know you had emailed us, but do you know if it was the town is using is it the Concom revolving fund or the Conservation Commission expenses for your wages?
Uh, I'm not sure because it didn't seem to be coming out of any fund under the Concom control. It was
Oh,
a line item in the town's budget for staff.
yeah. That was the original agent wages, what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
So right now, and the problem is the money going into the wetlands fund is really dependent upon the applications we receive and the fees that are coming in for those applications. Like this evening's meeting, we had, 6 public hearings. Yes, that's some cash, but at the same time, if we get a drought of applications, that funding is going to go down rapidly.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. Okay. And that is, and George, that is the only account that we could pay you out of?
Yes.
Okay.
The wetlands one you're saying?
I believe it is. I can reach out, get some opinions on that, but it may require a legal opinion from town council.
I mean, honestly, I think I understand where, the efficiency of having someone full-time that takes on multiple positions, and had that position been posted and filled, we wouldn't, that it'd be a different discussion that we'd be having. So knowing that that isn't the case and that we do rely on George's input and expertise to do this volunteer job, I think I would like to just have the commission tonight make a motion to request that the select board appropriate the funds so that we can have George, at least have George through the remainder of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And yeah, I would say, like, I think we could probably agree that whatever account is necessary. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want to make that motion? You
Yeah,
said
yeah. Unless
pretty
anybody
good.
has any other questions, yeah. So I will make a motion to formally request that the select board appropriate funds for the conservation agent wages as they have done in the past for the remainder of 2025.
26.
Oh, fiscal year 2020.
Fiscal year 2026. So that we don't have to liquidate the wetlands protection fund to keep George on payroll.
I'll second that.
Thank you. And sorry, Hazel, that was a mouthful.
That's okay, I got it. I'll need to look at the recording anyways, but I got that.
Okay. All right. All those in favor, Hazel,
Aye.
Kathleen, you are muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. Aye.
Brad,
Aye.
and I. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, George. Okay, I think that was everything from regular business. Next on the list for tonight was the treasurer's report, but anything noteworthy there, Kathleen?
Nothing noteworthy. I want to update that before we meet again, and then I'd like to send that out to everybody, like just the Excel sheet that I've done in the past. But I definitely want to touch base with accounting, especially since we're talking about these funds with the property at Glendale, and really make sure I have an accurate report.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, so the acceptance of the minutes, and I think Nicole had sent along, sent 10 days ago, sent along the minutes from our previous meeting. George, I think you had a couple comments in there.
Yes, and I believe I sent them to the commission under separate cover. There's just a couple of minor issues. There's nothing really significant.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you want to move, in my opinion, if you want to move to accept the minutes, you can do so with the corrections as outlined, Evan, in your email and as in mine.
Okay. Yeah, so you're saying, sorry, just to, you're saying to accept them as, with the corrections from
Corrections
your,
as submitted.
yeah, okay. The way that was worded, it had me confused for a second. All right, I'll make a motion to accept the September 15th minutes, from George's or the agent's email with his corrections and edits.
I'll accept that motion. Or second that motion.
Thanks, Hazel. All right, all those in favor, Hazel?
Aye.
Brad?
Aye.
Kathleen?
Aye.
And aye. Great. All right. Any items that cannot wait until the 10/6/25? Or 10, sorry, it says 10/6 on the
10/20.
10/20 meeting. There was only one thing that I had in that George has mentioned it a couple times, but a vice chair in the event that I'm not present. So I think having some formality around that would be great. So don't have to vote on anything or do anything tonight, but just something for folks to think about.
I'll carry it over.
Maybe when Nicole's also here. Yeah. Thanks for that.
Okay. Anything else, anybody? Okay. All right. Would anybody like to make a motion?
I'll move to adjourn.
Okay. I will second that. All those in favor, Brad?
Aye.
Kathleen?
Aye.
Hazel?
Aye.
Okay. The meeting is adjourned at 7:42 p.m. on the 6th.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.